A lot of doubts here, fears about your own intuition. I almost feel like unsteadiness, feelings of unsteadiness. And this is because you've been rushed. I feel like not just a specific person, but the universe in general is kind of rushing you right now. And it's making you the point of going, oh, can I really trust myself? Can I really trust what I'm bringing to the table? Or is there kind of like something else I should be doing? This is coming about, this doubt, these fears, with the reverse of the world card, is because you're feeling like, I'm not really sure I can trust this. I'm not really sure if I can or can't trust this because of lack of movement. It's like, if I saw this moving forward, if I saw something happening, I'd have a lot more confidence in it. But sometimes we can't react to what's happened yet, or what we have seen that has happened yet, because sometimes things are working behind the scenes. Sometimes we don't see all the cogs whirring, we don't see the movement forward. We just see this kind of picture of, okay, I don't see like I've got a new job, or I don't see like I've got new money, or I don't see like I'm getting any close to my goals. But it's because it's such a small change, and because other things are happening behind the scenes, we don't see that. So we can almost like block our own manifestations here if we're not careful. Because by holding back, by saying to ourselves that I'm just going to go forward, I'm just going to head off and go regardless, we allow ourselves to relax into the idea that our manifestations are working. When we kind of desperately look for those signs that it's working or it's not working, we end up blocking our own manifestations, because we get into this head space of going, everything's terrible, nothing works out for me, nothing goes well for me. So we get ourselves into this negative, nervous headspace, and I really feel like that's what you're having to combat this week. More than anything, though, you are dealing with a lot of injustice here with the reverse of the Justice card. So you're dealing with a lot of unfairness as well. So that really isn't helping matters. So not only have you got this fear surrounding, am I progressing, am I moving forward, but you've also got this kind of sidetrack or sidestep, unfortunately, of going, it's not ideal. It's not really moving forward in the right direction. So you've got a lot of these fears surrounding it. I do feel like before the end of the month, I know this is meant to be a weekly, but we'll take it as it comes. Before the end of the month, you will have this actions coming in to shroud over this and allow you to kind of breathe again, allow you to trust your own intuition. So before the end of the month, do know you will get the positive feedback, the sign that you are actually progressing forward. So stop looking right now, because you won't get it. It's a bit delayed. It's like a little buffer, It's a bit of a delay. But I do feel like, particularly around finances and material matters, this is actually heading forward for you. So do expect before the end of the month, and I feel like even before the end of the week, that you will get some sort of slight increase before the end of the week, and then before the end of the month, like a bigger increase in this kind of material side of things. So money, finances, that kind of thing, like unexpected gifts, that kind of thing. There is definitely somebody taking note here, though. So there's somebody else taking note of going, you know what, I should give this person a chance, I should give them a chance. But they don't have the confidence to step forward with that yet, with a reversal strength card. Like, they have this mentality of going, I would like to offer them something, but I don't have the confidence I can commit to anything yet. So this is either a boss or somebody else in your life that wants to help you with something or wants you to give you a leg up, but because they need to make sure they get all their own ducks in a row first, they don't have the confidence that they're really going to go through with this, or it's really going to go in the right direction. So there is this kind of hold back here, this pause, and this is because they're not really sure and not really confident about it yet. And I do want to say yet, I do feel like in the future they will be able to move forward. It's just they'll need time to build up. So we're going to go into the specific star signs now, but... Oh, thank you for the comment. But we're going to go into specific star signs, but please give it a like if you haven't already. And thank you for the comment. Aries. So, what does Aries need to know about the week ahead? So, we're going to do Aries first. Aries. So, you're a little bit feeling like a little bit blinded right now. Left in the dark. I almost feel like blinded by the light, I want to say. So I got the song, like, I'm blinded by the light stuck in my head. It might be significant to you, but I do feel like with that song coming in as well, it's a little bit like you were impressed by somebody so much, you almost, like, got blinded by them. Or you're impressed by a situation so much you got blinded by it. And it caused a little bit of confidence issues here. This isn't like you though, Aries. This really isn't like you. Like, you have the most confident aura of, like, probably everybody. Except maybe, like, Leos, but even then, I think you still trump it from sheer determination. But there's something about this person, there's something about this opportunity that makes you go, oh, what, you know, I don't want to mess this up. I don't want to miss out on this chance. I don't want to miss out on this. I do want to say as well, just through intuitively, you are divinely protected in this. I don't usually use that term very often, but don't panic. Some of you, I feel like it's literally about a relationship. Like, you met this person, you're like, oh my god, this person takes my breath away. They're wonderful. I love them so much. But it's got to go wrong because I never have good luck in relationships. Or it's got to go wrong because X, Y, and Z. So part of you is kind of almost like saying to yourself, it's already gone down the tube, it's already ruined before you've even given this relationship a shot. Do understand that this person is as nervous about this as you are, or this person involved in the opportunity is as nervous as that you are. They've been trying to clean off their, their life. They've been trying to make a spring cleaning for themselves. They've been trying to improve their life for a long time. And because of that, that's why you've kind of met now. I feel like if you met them like 5 years ago, the life was too much of a mess. It would not have been a good relationship. But because you met them now, you're both at that kind of level of going, I can vibe out, I can breathe, I can enjoy myself, that kind of thing. This person is not going to judge you for their flaws, whether it's in work or love. But I feel like heavily for many of you Aries, this is in love. I'm almost step backing from like the word love because I feel like you're scared of that yourself as well. Because it's a scary thing, because if you love somebody, they can hurt you a lot. So, that is a little bit scary to you if we're being real here. With the reverse of the 8 of Cups though, but you are headed towards a better future with them. You're not walking away from a good relationship, you're walking towards it. It's just all these bits of fears and anxieties, and also because you have been through a lot and you're worried about the other person judging you for it. They won't. They've been through a lot as well. They're almost like a mirror of you in some ways, but you don't see it because you kind of put them on this pedestal. You're like, oh my god, like, I love this person so much. And you've put them on such a pedestal, you don't know how to go from there. So, we're going to move on now to Taurus. Taurus. So, you've been dealing with a lot of sadness here this week, and I feel like coming in the week, you're trying to shake it off. I don't want to say you're stuck in it this week, but because you're definitely trying to shake it off. It isn't from lack of trying. It's, sometimes we have feelings and they're just too heavy. And I feel like it's more to do with the heaviness than anything. Like, it's so heavy for you right now, it's kind of difficult for you to realistically be able to deal with it. It's just a lot. It's a lot to take on. With the reverse of the Hermit card, though, you do have a lot of support around you. I feel like it's very difficult for you to ask for that support, but do know it's there. I feel like this person, there is a person quite close to you. It's either like literally a family member or it's like a parent. Some of you it's going to be friends, but I feel like much heavily drawn to like literally a mom or a parent or some sort of family. They haven't always been the best person to come through for help. We're going to be real. They haven't always known the best ways to be supportive. They haven't always been the person that you could turn to, but they are definitely trying. And in this moment, as much as you're like, well, I don't want to go for them, I don't want to get help from them because they were kind of useless in the past. They were not helpful. They caused issues, they caused problems. I don't want to cause arguments or disagreements in the future. You're choosing not to ask for help, but actually, I feel like if you do ask for the help, they will be able to give it you. So they will be able to be there for you and be able to help you. So more than anything, I feel like that is really going to help you to kind of move forward and to continue on. We've got here the Six of Pentacles. The only thing I want to say about the Six of Pentacles, because you definitely have this week, like, good progression with your career, good progression with your finances. It's more like interpersonal and mindset kind of shifts and other aspects of your life that's causing this sadness. Your finances, your career are really on the up and up. And I feel like it's at, like, stark contrast between the two. Like, you've got your career and finances are going really well, and then your mindset and other issues are causing you some problems. So it's almost like a mask kind of put on. And when you're at, like, work or dealing with finances, people are like, oh, they must have a lovely life, they must be all happy. And then you take off the mask behind closed doors and the sadness. So I do feel like be careful of avoiding these emotions, these heavy emotions, by kind of focusing too much on your career and finances, because it's so easy to use them as a distraction right now because they're going well. You know, when your career and finances are going really well, it's very easy for us to go, well, I'm just going to pursue that enjoyment. I'm just going to pursue that fun. Because it's so much easier to do that than to deal with the heaviness, deal with the other emotions. So don't distract yourself with that. Go get some help from this family member, because as useless as they were in the past, they are actually wanting to help you now, and they are actually able to. So start building up those kind of trust between you two, and it will also help them to feel like that, you know what, they can help, but they can be of use. So we're going to move on now, but thank you as well. Thank you as well for the comments. Next up is Gemini. Gemini. What's Gemini? What does Gemini need to know today? Lovers card here coming out, Gemini. So, Gemini, I feel like you're dealing with a romantic connection, a romantic partner who has a lot of love for you, but they're kind of acting a little bit cold right now. They're kind of like acting a little bit nonchalant, like they're not really interested, or they're not really giving you as much attention as you deserve. And that's because, like, their career finances are being a bit problematic. They don't feel like they're happy where they are. I feel like actually they're better than they think they are. And they've got like this insane level of, I feel like I should do this. I feel like I should be at this level. Like, they've got this kind of insane level of, like, I feel like I should be up here, and I'm here. And they don't realise they've come from down here, you know. They've kind of stepped up a lot, and they are still stepping up that ladder. But as with anything in life, sometimes people see social media, or they see online, or whatever, you know, and they go, well, I should have an amazing new car, or I should have this, or I should have that. And they're not really giving themselves the benefit of the doubt sort of thing. They're not really praising what they have achieved. So this person does want to be with you and does want a connection with you, but they just don't feel like they're worth your time right now. So they're acting really cold because it's easier to act. It's easier to repress their thoughts, their feelings, than dealing with a rejection. So we got a bit of the compression of the throat chakra. It's easier for them to deal with that than to deal with having to deal with somebody else rejecting them. So this is them trying to save themselves from rejection. In the end, I do feel like they will come towards you. I feel like this week they're trying to... I don't feel like they're trying to learn, sorry, they're having to learn. I feel like it's more of a meaningful phrase. They're having to learn, and also they're trying to connect more. but they're having to learn how to fill up their own cup first, how to praise themselves, how to see how that they are doing good. So they're having to learn that. They're having to learn it the hard way. But it is quite positive though. It is kind of pushing them forward and pushing them into this wonderful direction here. So we're going to move on now to Cancers. So Cancers. What do the Cancers need to know today? Cancers, we've got the reverse of the King of Wands. So issues here today with the communication. So this week, communication is going to be a major issue. There's going to be a lot of trip-ups of you saying something that you don't mean. And I don't mean in a negative way necessarily, but it's kind of like, oh, I'll go and see you on Tuesday and you mean Wednesday, and it's caused confusions and chaos, particularly in the career and finances department, so at work, etc. But just in general, communication is a major issue. And I feel like this is because of held back communication. I almost feel like Cancers, there's somebody you need to kind of tell off, or there's somebody you need to kind of shout out at and say, nah, I'm fed up of your BS. I'm not going to deal with you any longer. I'm not going to deal with this any longer. I'm fed up of it. And I feel like by you kind of saying, I'm fed up of you, I'm fed up of your behaviour, I'm done with you, and you basically giving them an earful. It's making them kind of take a step back and go, oh my god, I didn't realise I was behaving like that. But I do feel like you're reluctant to do that right now because, not for fear, but because you're like, well, I don't want it to cause more drama, I don't want to cause it problems, I don't want to cause problems in my life, that kind of thing. I just want a little bit of calm. I just want a little bit of understanding. So I do feel like here you're having to kind of understand that. You're having to get a little bit more calm and understanding into your life in general. With the Magician card here, this person has been blocking your manifestations. And I feel like it's partly because you've been having to step carefully with them. So you're having to broach subjects carefully, broach everything carefully. And generally I feel like almost like take care of them or do things that you shouldn't have to do because they're causing problems, they're causing issues. So you're having to take a step out of this and go, okay, I need to tell them off because this is costing me time, this is costing me energy, this is costing me sanity as well. So understand sometimes it's better to have that conflict for a short time than to deal with it for months or even years. And that's what's going to go on here, Cancers. If you don't let them know, it's just going to drag on. It has been for a long time. So you need to let them know about them causing problems and issues, even if you are scared about how they might react or how it might cause problems. So I'm going to move on now to Leos. Leos, what do you need to know for the week ahead? What do you need to know for the week ahead, Leos? So we have got the reverse of the Queen of Wands here. Issues of communication, lack of communication here. With the reverse of the Queen of Cups, though, I do feel like, though, this is a little bit of an issue here with the reverse of the Queen of Cups, of somebody just almost like devaluing you. This is somebody who has treated you a little bit like you're worthless and hasn't really kind of invested in you emotionally. So they haven't really invested the time into contacting you, into noticing what you are doing, to noticing how well you're doing it. This is quite a cold person. I almost want to say a bit of bitter person as well. I do feel like it's more to do with career and finances. So this is somebody being a bit bitter, a bit angry at the world. And because of that, they haven't noticed you. They haven't noticed what you've been doing, how well you've been doing. And in general, they're being very standoffish. So not communicating properly, not kind of looking at things in a positive light. With the Page of Cups here, though, I do feel like it's a little bit to do with immaturity on their part. And they are going to get a lesson here coming in. I feel like more than anything, they're kind of a bit childish, a bit immature. But there is a lesson coming in. And I feel like it's more of a functional lesson to make them realise their behaviour and really kind of push them forward. into like behaving better, I feel like, just in general, because there has been such bad behavior. It's untrue. Do you want to get more? They will eventually offer you something. This is almost like, I don't want to say like a reward, but they will offer you kind of gratitude and offer you like recognition for your hard work, because I feel like once they kind of go through this learning cycle, then they will come back around and go, you know what, I've learned a lot, I've understood a lot, and I'm moving forward. So this is a person who is trying to do better. Oh, sorry, I should say will eventually try to do better. I feel like this week is them learning that lesson. They're not quite there yet. They will eventually learn to do better, but there is a little bit of a gap. So I feel like next month or the month after, that's when they're going to come in with this kind of offer of like recognition. So hello, Metro Lace. I'm doing really well, thank you. I've just started trying to do more readings again. But it's good to see you on. I hope you're going to enjoy these weekly readings. But yeah, I've started to do a lot more recorded readings and stuff again. But I'm trying to get back in the habit of doing live streams once a week. Virgo. What do you need to know for the week ahead, Virgo? With the reverse of the Three of Swords here. A little bit of heartbreak, a little bit of a deception here, but you're overcoming that heartbreak. I feel like this is you have trusted somebody and you've cared about them, and they've kind of thrown you back in your face. And now you're kind of learning to heal from that. Now you're kind of letting that go of this week, of going, yeah, I'm kind of annoyed at them that they've let me down, but I'm not allowing it to hurt me forever. You know, I've said my piece, I've dealt with them, I've come to this realization. I don't want to say we've come to a compromise, because I don't feel like you come to a compromise, but you come to this realization that this person was behaving badly and taking advantage. But this one wants to come out like this. So what is hidden? Whenever they want to come out like this, it's always what is hidden. What is hidden is the fact that they are on a little bit of quest to become a better person. This person was energetically and emotionally immature. Regardless of their age, they were very mature, and they're being forced on this journey now. I do feel like they're going to be back around eventually. Not quickly, not anytime soon, but eventually to kind of apologise for their bad behaviour and kind of almost expand why they're behaving badly. With the reverse of the Empress card here though, but they weren't really in their Emperor or Empress energy. They weren't really in this confident leadership kind of stance. They were a bit problematic. They were causing problems. And I feel like you're having to kind of step away from that and step out of it. More than anything here though, with the Page of Swords in reverse, this is them becoming more mature. So understand that this had to happen for them to become more mature. And also because, you know, you deserve better. You don't deserve somebody who's going to treat you like this, who's going to kind of backstab you. You deserve a lot better. So we're going to go on now to the next one, which is Libras. So Libras. What does Libras need to know today? For the week ahead. What does Libras need to know for the week ahead? So, getting Page of Swords. I did shuffle it. You're actually getting better at dealing here, Libras, with insecurity. You've gotten to a point where you're much more mature when it's dealing with insecurities. By that I mean like when you've got financial insecurities, when you've got relationship insecurities, but particularly for you, financial insecurities. But you are just all around, you're able to deal with insecurities and fears, like when we don't have what we think we should be getting, or we don't have like stability in our life. You have the ability right now, and you are learning more and more how to deal with that energy, how to deal with the fears, how to deal with a kind of issue. More than anything though, I feel like with the Six of Wands, this is somebody coming in to trust you with more responsibility. They're coming in to trust you with more responsibility today. I feel like this isn't like a paid situation. This is either unpaid work at work, like where they just need somebody else to help out with something, or literally like a local club or a local thing for your local town or village or whatever, or like literally charity work. But whoever this person is, whether it's even like family, they are trusting you with more kind of responsibility. They're trusting you with some responsibility here. And I do feel like it's because they desperately need the help. But they see you as somebody who is able to kind of deal with when the things get tough, when problematic things happen. You are able to kind of deal with that. With the reverse of the Nine of Cups though, I do feel like actually you're less focused right now on material matters, and you're more focused on your emotional matters. So, how do I find my way in this world? How do I find myself in this world? How do I find how I need to move forward? I do feel like overall this is quite healthy for you. Just be careful a little bit of losing track or not be able to do the things that you really enjoy, because I feel like there is this kind of level of being in demand a lot that would cause you some issues with that. But overall, quite positive. Scorpios. Scorpios are next. The Scorpios. The Scorpios. A lot of financial issues here. I feel like your finances are not playing out the way you expected. So this is like you were planning for the long term, you were saving, and then all of a sudden, poof, something happened, and it's caused chaos. Understand that this had to happen to almost like to focus your money, focus your spending more, because it's almost like it was a bit chaotic before, and that was kind of dragging you down the long term, even though you did have like this positive financial wherewithal. But the as your kind of like sadness set in, you did find it more difficult to look towards the future. I don't feel like this is a permanent thing. This feels very temporary, of like dealing with like sadness and going, oh, I'm not sure if it's going to work because things didn't play out how I expected it to. Once you kind of refocus your energy, you're going to be in a really good position, but I almost feel like you need a big deep breath and let it out kind of thing, because it is kind of a little bit stressful, and it is kind of getting to a point of like, you're like, well, I'm not really sure what to do next with this. Sagittarius. Next up is Sagittarius. Sagittarius. What does Sagittarius need to know today? So we have got the Knight of Wands. So not much communication here, Sagittarius. You're just waiting and waiting and waiting, though. I feel like it's not just you that, like, whoever you're waiting for isn't just, like, not communicating with you. I feel like communications around you in general is a bit of an issue right now. It's just a bit slow. And you're having to wait for that information to come through and for the information to kind of be passed down. So there is definitely a lot of issues here with that. But before the end of the week, you will be hearing about somebody who will be bringing in more security into that. So instead of being like standing around waiting for things to sort themselves out, you're actually able to go in there and actually sort it yourself more. I do feel like this is quite positive though, because it's really allowing you time and energy to focus on other stuff that you would like to do, not just stuff because you have to or you desperately need to. Okay, next up is Capricorn. The Capricorns. Capricorns, what do you need to know today, Capricorn? You're dealing with somebody who's very demanding here. Anything that you do, it's not good enough. Everything that you do has to be a precise way. This is somebody who's majorly demanding, and it's going to cause a sudden change. And I feel like it's going to cause other people, not just you, to go, I don't want to deal with this person anymore. I'm just walking. I'm just leaving. So I do feel like this person is coming in as almost like a downfall for like the company or the people that you deal with financially. But all is not lost here though, because I feel like there will be them like coming back around to help with burdens, help with the issues that was caused by it. So I definitely feel like eventually people will get kind of fairly compensated, and it's like taking them out of it so they're not having to deal with those kind of stress and those kind of issues as well. So next up is Aquarius. Aquarius. What does Aquarius need to know today? Somebody here wants to communicate with you, but they've got like 1,000,001 other people they need to communicate with. You need to take a leap of faith and try it out on your own. It's like you're sitting around waiting for confirmation from them to say it's okay, or you should try it, or you should do it. You need to step out on your own and kind of try it yourself. By all means, like, make sure you're not like overriding anything or anything like that, or causing any issues that can't be fixed instantly or quickly. But this is allowing you to actually really see things progress in real time and progress with them, should I say. With the Five of Pentacles in reverse, though, but whoever this is that you're dealing with, they are not in a very good place right now, and they're digging themselves deeper and deeper as they kind of try to make sense of what's going on and make sense of everybody's kind of readings. I'm going to say readings, everybody, how they read, like as a person, how they read as a person, their readings as a person. How do they behave? How is it? And you're understanding how to move on from here. So I'm going to finish off here with Pisces. But I hope you've been enjoying this reading. If you do, give me a little comment, a little like. So, Two of Swords here. You're starting to regain focus here. So Pisces, this week you're definitely starting to regain focus. You're starting to understand focus on your life, your goals, where you want to achieve, what you want to do next. And you're starting to be taken more seriously here. I feel like other people in your life, like people that your friends, family, that kind of thing, and people in career life are starting to take what you're saying is serious. In the past, I feel like you had these dreams or you had these goals and people just kind of like, nah, it's never going to happen. It's not going to happen. Nothing's going to happen from this. They had this expectation of nothing was going to happen. So everything stopped, everything slowed down. But now you're kind of in the position of, okay, I understand that now. Now I'm going to step out of this. Now I'm going to kind of head forward to the new perspective and the new position. But I do feel like in general this is quite positive for you. There is going to be some fears of rejection and fears of people not taking you seriously crop up in your mind. Of going, well, you know, I told them it's different this time. I'm trying to follow through with it. What if they don't believe me? What if they back turn on it? That kind of thing. Those fears are creeping in. But understand that those are fears. They're not reality. Regardless of that, although I do feel like people are starting to trust you more and starting to believe in you more, it doesn't matter what they think. Just focus on your actions, focus on what you want to get done and how you want to get it done.